Welcome to the Bread of Life Young Adults Podcast. I'm your host, Pastor Nosankandu. I am the lead pastor of the Young Adults Ministry. On this episode, I'm joined by Mr. and Mrs. Molenga. They're financial experts, financial gurus, and oh my God, they got married as financiers. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much.
Okay, sure. We've had a number of conversations with different people.
Yeah.
We've spoken about small groups, cell groups, and all. But on this one, we'll be talking about definitely finances as couples.
Okay.
So before we delve into that, just want to take you through what we call the rapid fire questions.
Okay.
So the first segment is I'll what about one question, then whatever comes to mind, we hear. That will be from Bob.
Okay.
Imakando.
Joseph.
Joseph Bishop. Marriage.
My wife.
Pastor Sondashi. That's our main task.
Investment.
Banking.
Bonds.
Okay. Best movie.
Jack Richard.
Suits.
Jack Richard. Oh my God, you love that. And Suits. Oh my God, I love it. Best book.
Atomic Habits.
Richest man in Babylon.
Awesome. Okay. The second phase would be I'll give you two options. You choose one. Zambia or South Africa?
Zambia. Traumatized by South African. Love
Online or physical church?
physical.
100%. Oh,
Passion or stability?
stability.
Passion.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee. Tea. Coffee.
Shima or rice?
Rice.
Shima.
Business or profession?
Profession.
Business.
What are you doing in profession then?
It's very short one.
Okay, then the last thing is the last question. Just two. If you would have dinner, lunch, or breakfast with two people in the world, whether dead or alive, who would you choose? Let's start with you, Mr.
Martin Luther King
Oh, this one.
and Benny Hinn. Yeah.
Wow. And you?
Catherine Kuhlman and Bishop Joe Makando.
Wow. Awesome. What can you do that? Okay, so those were the rapid fire questions.
Oh, wow.
You'll be able to watch them as you watch yourself. So we get into the middle of it.
Yeah.
We're talking about finances today. Why is it important as couples, not only that, or people that are looking to get married, to actually do finances together?
Okay.
Maybe you can even give your own experience. Did you start looking at finances at your dating stage or at your courtship level? And how are you doing it in your marriage?
Okay. I can start?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's very important to, I think it's a very important topic. Finances is not a topic that you can skip, whether you're in a relationship, especially when you're planning to get married. And when you're married, I think it's imperative that these conversations start before you get married. The reason why, if you look at the statistics even around the world, a lot of cases around divorce are mainly about money. Money conversations are a root of a lot of problems, but can also be it can be a root of a lot of happiness in a marriage. The importantness of talking about finances, because you need to, as a family, you need to structure it.
Yeah.
You need to agree beforehand. You need to have a conversation. The reason why I say that is that we live independently before getting married.
Sure.
We have different definition of money before getting married as individuals. So if and when we decide to get married, it's important that we discuss what our expectation is around money. What does money mean for you, and how do you save money? How do you grow money? What's your behavior around money? Do you have any debts personally?
Okay.
And because when you come together as one, whatever it is that is
Yeah.
accumulated
Sure.
before getting married becomes my accumulation as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
We have one front in terms of finances. So it is important to discuss these things before marriage to know exactly what you're getting into and what do we do next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I think I front loaded the conversation when
Awesome.
we were dating.
Okay.
Because for me, finances was a big thing.
Okay.
For me, I really wanted to make sure that everything is set.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to manage expectations.
Sure.
So when I met my wife and we started dating, I think it was 4 months in that we had the conversation about money. And
Awesome.
I had to mention to her, these are my responsibilities. This is what I'm thinking for the future.
Okay.
Yeah. So that set the tone as
Yeah.
well early on, so that whatever I'm spending money on and whatever she needs, she knows exactly that, okay, this is how far we can go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because this is how much we have at the moment and this is what we're building towards. And that really managed expectation throughout the relationship. Even now, it manages expectation. It reduces stress so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe as you bring up those important factors in managing finances, then how do you place investments, savings, as well as the spending? How do you structure it as a couple?
Okay.
So we understand that you are coming from two different workplaces, but then you are all getting an income from there.
Yeah.
So how do you put it in one basket? If at all you put it in one basket, then how do you then distribute it across all platforms, if per se?
Okay. I think for us specifically, I'll speak in terms of how we manage our finances as a family. I think when we got together, one of the conversations we had is, okay, you have an income, I have an income. But when you get married, for us, we view it as mlenga income.
Okay.
So we don't operate where each person has their own income and each person runs their own finances. It's all accumulates together into one pool. So we are very transparent in terms of, this is how much I get.
Okay.
These are the loans I have. These are the deductions I have. This is the other extra incomes I have.
Since you said
So
it's a family, sorry to disturb.
Yes.
So this is our loan.
Yes.
No, sorry.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the oneness is gone and it's a we kind of conversation. So once those funds come in, obviously the first thing that we do is tithe.
Sure.
We pay our tithe. My husband does not play on that. I trust me, you can't have, there's no negotiations around that. And once that tithe is taken away, we then use the 50-30-20 rule.
Awesome.
It's a very common financial rule, and personally, we've adopted it because it has worked for us.
Sure.
So we sit as a family, we list out our expenses,
Sure.
we list out our income. First and foremost, we list out our income. What's the total amount from our businesses, from our income? We put it together. From then now, we determine 50% of that goes into our basic needs.
Sure.
So these are needs that we can't do without. Sure. These are needs like rent, needs like fuel, school fees, whatever it is that you can't dodge from. You can't just say, we won't have groceries in the house. We won't pay rent. The landlord will come and chase you away. So 50% of that is apportioned towards those expenses which are unavoidable.
Yeah.
Then which my husband handles, he will be able to speak into that.
Sure.
Then 30% of that goes into expenses that we can, move around. These are expenses that we can do without. We speak into our DSTV subscription, our gym subscription, those coffee dates and every other things that can be, at least we can do without.
Yeah.
So they are not necessarily bad. They are good, but they are not, you can do without them. They're not life or die, These are things that you can avoid. So 30% of that goes into that. We want to buy new hair, we want to buy clothes, and all those nice things.
She wants to buy a new hair.
Yes.
We want to buy a new hair. Yeah.
We need the new hair. So the 30% then is apportioned to such needs as well. Then 20% of our income then goes into our savings and our investments, which he will be able to speak into that. The reason why we've adopted that financial model is that it gives us accountability. It gives us transparency. It allows us to track where what is going. Okay, at what point we won't end up spending on things that we didn't plan for, randomly just going and buying and purchasing things.
Yeah.
And you find that to the nitty-gritties of when we want to say purchase a fridge, we just don't wake up and say we're going to purchase a fridge. Okay, we're saying, okay, in the next 2 months, we need to purchase a fridge. Where would this fall? Will it be in our immediate expenses? Will it fall into our intermediate expenses? And that has allowed us to manage our finances well.
Also,
You can.
Mr. Len.
Yeah, so when it comes to that 50% she spoke of, which I handle, firstly, you rank them in order of priority,
Oh, yeah.
right? For example, rent.
Sure.
You can't compromise on that because
Sure.
you need somewhere to stay. So you rank them and you kill them off according to the way you've ranked them.
Yeah.
That's on the expenses side.
Sure.
And whatever is left off, if there's anything left off, now falls into an emergency fund.
Sure.
And I'll try and draw how we do
Please.
the emergency fund. So the 20% that is allocated to investments is projected over a short-term sort of investment. So what do we want to achieve in the near term?
Okay.
We put that in investment. So for example, the fridge she talked about it,
Yeah.
he said, okay, we want to buy a new fridge in the next 3 months.
Yeah.
Whatever we have now, if it's significant or even if it's little, we'll probably, if it's significant, we'll put it in a fixed deposit.
Okay.
Let it earn some interest.
Okay.
Even though we know that we'll get more money in those 3 months leading up to
Sure.
the purchase.
Yeah.
So that will come with interest
Mhm.
before we make the purchase, plus what we've been saving as well in those 3 months because we've been earning income as well. We add that together. We'll find that we'll buy the fridge and still have change.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That change goes into the emergency fund.
Okay.
If this month we buy groceries, for example, and those groceries flow into the next month,
Mhm.
we don't need to buy as many groceries as
Yeah.
we bought last time.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
You'll
The
reduce.
excess goes into the emergency fund,
Okay.
right? That 20%, if, for example, we are looking for to achieve something long term, for example, buy land, buy a house, then now we begin to look at things that will give us a higher yield.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll need to structure it in a way that we put a fixed deposit, then we come and put in a bond because
Yeah.
then the money will now be significant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how we sort of look at it in terms of short-term
Yeah.
and long-term investments to try and achieve both the near-term needs or goals and also the long-term ones.
Okay. Sure.
So that's my department. I handle the projections and all that because that's partly also what I do for work.
Awesome.
We did not start, where we are. We've seen so much growth in our financials. We've made mistakes. We've had to learn from them. We've made mistakes month on month. Be like, babe, the way we handled last month, there's something we need to audit ourselves.